Welcome back to the Power Play Pod. Now we will be going over some pick'ems for this weekend, and we have the best 8 to 10 games in our mind selected here of the weekend, and all of us are going to be giving us your picks.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it.
All right, we start off with Arizona against San Diego State.
I'll have you lead off with that one.
Arizona and San Diego State. We mentioned that earlier. Arizona does have a better quarterback this year coming back, Jaden DeLora, from Washington State. But San Diego State at home. The Arizona team was in complete rebuild mode last year, but I still think that's just the spread's just not enough for me. I think
spread's at 6.5.
I think they win by at least a touchdown, and San Diego State's one of my favorite money line pieces of the day.
Yeah, spread's at 6.5. Arizona's a 3 or 4 team win last year. San Diego State's always good. They're at home. I love home openers.
Yeah.
So I'll take a touchdown for San Diego State. They'll probably have a five wins more than Arizona this year. They're way better defensively and offensively. I feel like they could win by more than 3 touchdowns even. So, yeah, next game.
NC State and East Carolina.
NC State, East Carolina. Devin Leary, baby.
Yeah, at home for East Carolina. North Carolina
their fans will be there.
They had a very good, quiet year last year. They lost to Clemson, but they played good in that game. But, ranked 13th going into the season, 11.5.
It's a high for them. They're
11.5 is their line, I think.
Yes,
East
it is.
Carolina is not a great team. They're not a great conference.
2 touchdowns they win by.
Yeah. Two touchdowns. They score.
Devin Leary threw 35 last year.
Defense, I love that. I'll take NC State there handedly. Probably, I'll probably check their total points.
NC State wins by 20.
You think?
I would see that.
They cover.
I don't think East Carolina is scoring more than
21 points.
Yeah.
And then NC State scores.
Yeah, they'll score over 30.
Next game.
Oregon, Georgia.
Oregon, Georgia. I mentioned this earlier. It's probably one of my favorite plays of the week. Oregon plus 17.5. That's too many for Georgia. If you 38-21, 41-24.
Yeah, Georgia's
not going to be as
seven
good.
Defensive players got drafted in the first round last year.
They're not
last year, but
they're just not going to be at the same level.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
they're gonna be a good team this year, but it'll be a close game week 1. Bo Nix has played in the SEC before. They got Georgia's defensive coordinator, like you said. So yeah,
I'll drop a little bias note in here. Ducks went outright.
That's gonna be a fun game. Seriously, when was Oregon playing in the SEC? That doesn't happen often.
No.
Your underdog parlay of the day is Oregon and Colorado.
Yeah,
That comes out to
Colorado's a good play too.
All right, let's go to the next game, our 4th game on the tab.
Cincinnati against Arkansas.
Yeah, we went over that in depth. Arkansas rolls that by 2 touchdowns.
I really love that game.
Cincinnati doesn't have the same talent they do last year.
They're giving them that 23, though.
These guys are not as battle-tested as the former Cincinnati teams. As I said earlier, I think they're just... The ranking committee kind of just had to rank them because they don't really lose in the regular season.
Well, yeah, I don't think they have lost in the regular season in 2 or 3 seasons, but I don't think they played an SEC team in the regular season either. So at Arkansas opening day, Arkansas was 10-3 last year. They're really good. They still have their Jefferson quarterback, so he's an animal.
They're coming at 19.
I love them.
Yeah, ranked 19. Cincinnati ranked 23rd. Arkansas minus 6.5.
Arkansas will be ranked top 10 at the end of the year. That's what I think.
You heard it. Next game, number 5.
BYU, South Florida.
BYU, South Florida. We haven't touched on this one at all
No.
yet.
BYU's ranked 25 going into it.
Yeah.
They're
Week
always,
1,
I feel like, ranked 20th or 25 because they're just in a weird conference and they always win.
Yeah.
But, they have a lot of returning players. good matchup.
They did lose Tyler Algier to the draft.
Yeah, but ultimately a running back is a good running back if you have a good O-line. They always have good O-lines. They always have a good quarterback. If you have a good quarterback, then that opens up the run game. I like them. They're just always good and solid. You always feel confident betting BYU in football, kind of, for some reason, which is weird.
Romney Gunner is the returning receiver.
Who?
Romney Gunner from last year. I remember him vividly. Isaac Rex, a tight end. I remember him vividly from last year.
I remember him.
QB Jaron Hall.
Yeah, he's big.
Redshirt junior. 12 points. It's tight, I think.
I love
BYU. You throw them in any parlay. I mean, to boost the odds if you want.
Well,
but I don't see a way they lose here. But week 1, home game. I think South Florida keeps it within 10. And BYU, but I don't see a way in hell BYU loses this game. But I think South Florida covers this spread.
I disagree with that. I think that BYU will win by more than 2 touchdowns and or 30. So,
yeah,
I mean, at South Florida, not a good. I mean, who's going to go to the South Florida football game? Seriously,
they are away, but still, like.
It's here, but it's against South Florida.
Yeah,
it's a voyage for
They're never good.
BYU. Yeah, that one. I think it just stays. It's just one of those weird ones where.
What were they last year? 2-11. Is that what it says?
They were 2-10 last year. It's just
one of 4 game.
It's one of those gut feelings for me. I don't usually just say that because that's pretty uneducated statement. But, yeah, it is one of those for me. I mean, South Florida, they're usually not good at all. Like we just saw, they were 2-10.
2-10
last year.
Okay. BYU was not 2-10 last year.
No.
South Florida's quarterback, Gary Bohannon, coming in from the top rope.
Yeah, you're going in deep right now. This is a long.
No, I know exactly. The reason I'm going in deep is because I know exactly where he's from, and I can't put a tab on it.
Oh, I love it.
He's a transfer.
I know the name Bohannon too.
From where?
Somewhere.
Bohannon.
Baylor.
Is he from Baylor?
It is Baylor.
Quarterback from Baylor.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade and a half.
Yeah.
For the South Florida Bulls roster.
Yeah.
One thing BYU's usually not known for is their defense.
Yeah. And Baylor's usually not known for their quarterback unless it's Robert Griffin III. Especially when they have Travis Ebner.
South Florida keeps it within 12. BYU wins. There's not a world where they lose.
Pitt is selling.
I don't think they keep it within 12.
Mark does not think they keep it within 12. Anyways, that was a long one. We spent like 5 minutes on that one.
Let's hop on to the next.
Let's go to the next one.
Utah, Florida.
Yeah, no spread analysts needed here. Who are you guys taking outright?
Outright.
I'm gonna hear. You're gonna hear it from me first.
I'm gonna take Utah outright, but it's just a weird game for me.
Fear the swamp.
It's gonna be a hostile environment.
Feel the chomp.
It's gonna be a hostile environment. First game in Florida for the season. They're always, have a good fan base. Utah's a better football team.
Yeah.
They're more. They lost Devin Lloyd last year, who was a big part of their defense. They lost a lot of other good defensive linemen and secondary pieces, but they're going in ranked number 7 for a reason.
Yeah,
they have good veteran offense, but I don't know. It's weird. I just hate Florida.
Take the points if you don't have nuts, but Florida outright.
Yeah, I don't hate that pick either. I just know that I just feel like I hate Florida more than I hate Utah at this point.
It's going to be tough because it's
Fair enough. Let's go next game.
Next game, we got Notre Dame, Ohio State.
I'll lead off this one. Ohio State's going to win by 31 points. Jackson Smith and Jigba will get 250 yards. You will now know that Marvin Harrison's son is on Ohio State because he'll have 2 touchdowns. And, yeah, happily ever after for everyone involved. Notre Dame sucks. Marcus Freeman is the only known thing on their squad. And, yeah, their defense sucked last year with Kyle Hamilton. So we'll see what it is this year.
The talent gap is, like... humongous. Yeah, like one you see in high school.
You hear people talking about it, promoting it. They talk about
number 5 team. Here's my bold prediction: Notre Dame will end the season unranked.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They're only ranked because they're independent.
Yeah, and they're trying to promote this big game too. It's just 2 big college football schools, which I get. It's going to be a
big game.
To the average eye, it's number 2 versus number 5. Then you look at Vegas, and it's a 17-point spread.
Minus 800.
Well, you're like State's going to boat race.
You're just like
$800 on Ohio State. You're winning.
You're just like, oh, I thought it was the number 2 versus the number 5, not Ohio State, not the number 2 versus an unranked.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, you hear people talking about C.J. Stroud, Travion Henderson, Marvin Harrison, Jackson Smith and Jigba, everyone on Ohio State, and then they're just like, oh, Marcus Freeman's the new coach here. He has a great attitude. He's a great guy. And
I mean, don't discredit them. They're a good football program, but like they don't deserve.
Name a
they don't deserve the number 5 spot.
Name a football player on Notre Dame.
Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman's the coach.
Oh, he's the coach.
Exactly.
This guy knows nothing about Notre Dame.
No, but
that's exactly you
name
can't.
A player. Name a player on Notre Dame.
You're probably just making us sound like casuals here. Honestly.
No, like I can't. I know players on no. There's nobody good on that team.
Like, do you know that Marcus Wheaton Jr. is about to just ruin your parlay?
Yeah.
And
I'm very aware of that.
Next game.
Last game.
Last game.
Western Kentucky, Hawaii, the islands.
Let's take it to the islands. As I said earlier, your day's over. You're either going to use this as fuck you money and just not really care what happens because you're up so much from listening to our podcast, or your day's been rough, but the light at the end of the tunnel is always just the islands. And 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, Western Kentucky kicks off as a 16-point favorite. They didn't beat Austin Peay by 16. They beat Austin Peay by 11 last week. This isn't a game that I would obviously prioritize. We've talked about what kind of game it is, and no one will have money on this game until about 8:30 p.m. on Saturday. But Chess, 16-point spread. What side are you on? And the over-under...
Over-under is at 67.5. That's what I remember vividly. Hawaii's...
63
I've heard
points.
Hawaii coaches, from other radio shows and stuff, talk about how this may be a rough year. If you hear that coming from your coach, nothing's... No. They have 50 new players on their roster who have never played a college game until last week when they lost by 53 to the worst team in the SEC. And they put up 10 points. I really don't like the over, even though Western Kentucky's playing. I think if you alternate under 70 or something, I would love that. And I think I would take Western Kentucky minus 16.5. That's
16 flat, I'm seeing.
Well, yeah, that's just... Is Hawaii better than Austin
Peay?
No.
Is Hawaii better than Austin Peay?
I think so. I don't... Yeah, I mean,
see that game. That game will be 110 to 110.
I don't know how... God, I don't know what to say about Hawaii. Yeah, I don't know how you could put
It's fun to ride Hawaii.
I don't know how you could put actual U.S. currency on Hawaii after seeing them allow 63 points and lose by 53 points to Vanderbilt last week.
Yeah. So basically,
I'm surprised Sarah Fuller didn't go in.
Yeah. Ultimately, what you should do, you should put San Diego State, BYU, and Ohio State.
Parlay.
And then if you're just like wanting to get a little more boosty odds, I mean, you could throw in Kentucky versus Miami, Ohio. That's just easy.
Did you say NC State?
NC State, yeah, I like that one too. Throw that in there. That's 5-team. That's probably at plus 200, maybe at most.
Let's calculate
Nail it.
a parlay real quick. The 6-leg sender
Oh my god. This is terrible.
is what we'll call it as West Virginia takes the lead.
Any thoughts on Sunday's game?
Big thoughts. I forgot we got to talk about LSU, Florida State. That's a tight spread.
I don't know what the hell to think about that game.
I don't either. Florida State beat Duquesne.
Those are probably the two most unknown teams.
Florida State beat Duquesne by
I love
40. 47-7. This is called the 6-leg sender. First 3 legs, Arkansas, San Diego State, BYU. Hey, Virginia Tech in the 6-leg sender over Old Dominion.
Not for me.
No.
I am on West Virginia Tech winning that game by a touchdown. Chess actually likes Old Dominion to keep that one
Old Dominion
tight.
had a really good year last year. They score. Virginia Tech had they had a good year last year, but a lot of players left. A lot of players were seniors. They don't know how to score. They never do. So I like Old Dominion to at least cover there.
Nevada at home against Texas State. That game's a pick'em.
Let me see this parlay. Arkansas versus Cincinnati, BYU at South Florida, San Diego State at Arizona, NC State at East Carolina. Throw in Kentucky in there. Throw in Ohio State.
I said it's called the 6-leg sender, so we only have 6 legs. If you want to be safe,
If you want to be safe, take out Arkansas. That's what I think. I mean,
want to be safe,
I love the Arkansas game.
if you want to be safe, take out San Diego State, in my opinion.
No. That's my lock of the week, dude. Arizona's, I'm sorry, but they were god awful last year. Yeah, they have that new quarterback, but
The 6-leg sender, Ohio State, Arkansas, BYU, San Diego State, NC State, Kentucky comes up to plus 290.
yeah, which is lovely. I would love to just sit there and watch all these hit on Saturday.
Hopefully since Pittsburgh's gotta lose.
What's the score? Is it 24-24?
It's 31-24.
Touchdown West Virginia. 2 in a row.
That'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for our first podcast.
Someone's gonna need to pray for me and Pitt, so we'll check in with.
We are going to try to be at least 3 times a week podcasting here.
Yeah.
Like we said, covering both football, and once the daily sports are on, it will really be easy to just podcast.
Yeah, we're going to be doing NFL, college football,
Formula One.
F1
is going to be sprinkled in there for sure.
For sure.
And yeah, so that'll do it.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.